Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, it is cold out here. It is February 16th as I'm shooting this. I usually shoot this on a Monday, but I got tied up doing a bunch of contracts yesterday, so I'm shooting it first thing in the morning on the 16th, and boy, it's cold. I woke up this morning here in Florida and it was 20 some odd degrees. We're not supposed to do that here in Florida, but here we are. Another news, real estate driven news. It looks like the president signed an order today that is going to extend not only the foreclosure ban, but also the forbearance. So we started to get a lot of the forbearances start to come out February, March, April. There were people coming out of those forbearances. The order that the president just signed is extending that an additional 6 months. So that now looks like that's going to go into September, October timeframe. August, September, October timeframe. So that is definitely some real estate news. I think that is some stuff they're trying to do. It seems like it's putting a Band-Aid on some stuff, but hey, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. At least that'll help some over the rest of this year, or most of this year. But we're not going to talk about just that. Let's talk about our two counties, and let's see where things have changed. There have been a little bit of change. Stay tuned. Let's go. All right, if you've never seen the show, you don't know that I always start off with this slide right here. The slide says if we have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, we have what's called a neutral market. Anything greater than 7 months is considered a buyer's market. Anything less than 6 months considered a seller's market. What the slide does not say is anything greater than 9 months considered a hyper buyer's market. Anything less than 3 months is a hyper seller's market. That's the mark that we've been paying attention to if you've been watching the show for a little bit. So let's take a look. Let's see where we're at. We'll start off in Escambia County as we have for a while, and if you remember, last week was the first time we seen this 500 to 550,000 mark at 3 months inventory. So if you haven't watched the show, over here on the left is our price points, on the right is our estimated months, and they're color coded. I try and make it easy on that report. That's why I shoot this video. 550 looks like it hit just right at a seller's market, so it is at the 3 month mark even. 650 to 700 has now joined that mark. So now that is just a seller's market, not a hyper seller's market. The 700,000 plus has actually gone down in inventory. If you remember a couple of weeks back, that was creeping up at 5.4. So we were almost in a neutral market in the hyper luxury. But that's come back down a little bit. I got one of those coming on. I got a 3.9 coming on here in a couple of weeks. So we'll be adding some inventory as well. But yeah, that's come down just a little bit in Escambia County. Everything else is still a hyper seller's market. That 200 to 250 mark, there's 0.3. Now, if you look at these, if you actually are looking at the numbers, 250 to 300 is 1 month, and there's 68 properties active. Right here's the column that's active. I don't go over every one of these columns in the show. I do when I'm sitting down talking to a seller or a buyer. So this column is active. I got 68 properties, but my demand is huge. Here, I've only got 34, so I literally have half. 200 to 250, I have half the inventory that I have at 250 to 300. Now, both of these are hyper sellers markets. What would this change any marketing? Marketing-wise, probably not much. I've put some properties on at this price point, and they're gone like that. I put one at 210, and I think I had something like 19 offers in the first 72 hours. That goes to show you the strength of the market when the property is priced right. I say that to take a look at buyers. If you're in this price point, just understand, here's another column you may want to look at. It's list to sale ratio. Those two price points are selling 99 to 100%. If you drop down to 150,000 to 200,000, we've got 0.6 months, so not even a full month, and it's selling at 100% of ask. Now, I know that I'm going to get these people that are actually watching the show, I'm going to get the messages, so let me just go ahead and answer the message now. What about this 50 to 100, Shane? I'm seeing 94 to 95. It's because we haven't seen a whole lot of solds. All right. We have got about 147 solds, and some of those were in rough shape. A lot of this price point, well, it was 228 for the 100 to 150,000. But a lot of that price point had to do with Hurricane Sally damaged houses. So property where an owner took some of the insurance money, decided not to fix it up, instead listed it as is, and people bought it up to be able to rehab it, either to rent it out or to flip it or to live in it. Because I'm seeing some VA renovation loans. I saw VA and FHA kind of kick up a little bit. But so when you see this 94 to 95%, that's probably what that is. They listed it, but because there was so much damage. There was a property I looked at the other day. It was almost 3,000 square foot. It was $29.98. I mean, it was right at 3,000 square foot. But the whole place was ripped out. So it obviously flooded. 4 foot of sheetrock all the way down to the studs throughout the house. That's a big house to re-sheetrock. Roof had damage, everything else. Well, okay, that's a $300,000 house at $100 a square foot in that neighborhood fixed up. But it's going to take $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 to fix it up. So I can't give you $300. And if I'm going to do this as a profit, I can't give you $200. But I can give you $140, $130, maybe $150. I don't know. Just depends on what the numbers look like. But that's where you're going to see some of these discrepancies. List to sale ratio is damaged properties. And those price points, that kind of makes sense. All right, let's check over at Santa Rosa County, see what's going on. Santa Rosa County, still nothing. There is nothing outside of the hyper sellers market. Even if you look down here at the luxury, it's 2.2 months. We don't even have 3 months there. There's only 191 properties total active. If you can see that right here. Total active in Santa Rosa County, all price points. Everything. You called me up and said, I'm qualified for $130,000. What can I get in Santa Rosa County? There are currently 5 active properties. If you said I'm qualified for 175, there are totally 9 properties right now. 200 to 250, there are a total of 15 properties right now. So Santa Rosa County, when I say it's tough over there, there is anemic type inventory. It is, I think one of the funniest things I've seen watching around is if anybody watched the Super Bowl and watched, was it the weekend? The halftime show, when he was running around through all those mirrors. That's really what buyers feel like sometimes. And I say that jokingly, but I understand the frustration from the buyer's side. They're like, man, where can we find something? You just have to be prepared. It's a different market strategy. You have to have someone that works with you very, very closely. So when the right property comes on, you can pounce. But you've got to be prepared to get in there. I was having we'll call it a heated debate. They would probably call it an argument, but it was a heated debate with a potential buyer who called me and demanded that we started seeing houses before they went and got a pre-approval. And when I refused, they decided to read me the riot act of how that's not my job to tell them to get the pre-approval. It's my job to show houses. And my entire job was just to open the door and get out of the way, like I'm a commodity. And fortunately, there are some people in this industry that will accept that, and people will put that on them. But you're not the right client for me. If that's how our relationship is going in your mind, you're not the right client for me. You're just not, because I have clients all day long that I showed up. There was one that was been looking for something. He called me up, showed up. This was October. I showed up in shorts and my Tampa Bay Buccaneers jersey. And he said, "You're a Bucs fan? What?" It wasn't Brady. I didn't have Brady. But anyways, I said, "Yeah." And we walked around because I knew him. I knew what he was looking for. I knew the area. I knew the property. It took us about 2 minutes of me walking around the house. And then I looked at him and I went, "This house isn't for you. This is not the right one. Not for what you guys are looking for." And I spent the next 5 minutes explaining it, and he packed up and left. He's told everybody he's talked with. He's like, "That's an advisor. It's not just somebody opening the door." This other client who did not want to get a pre-approval but wanted to see houses, I was trying to explain to them how they will lose. Because the amount of time it takes you to get the pre-approval, that house is going to go under contract. I don't understand that. If you're getting financing, I do not understand not getting that done first. That makes no sense to me, because you're just not going to win in this environment. There's too many people out there looking. So just follow the steps. And if you work with me, I'm going to be an advisor standpoint. I'm not going to be just someone who opens a door. It's just not me. I've been doing this too long. But anyways, there's my soapbox. Sorry about that. We shouldn't be on that. 191 total properties in Santa Rosa County, 373 total properties in Escambia County. So what is that? 473, 560, 570, something like that total. Just so you guys know, you should go back and look at some of the ones I did a couple of years ago. Some of the shows that I did, How's the Market? Go back and look. 2 years ago is when we started the show. Go back and look at some of those. You'll see 2,500, 5,000, 6,000. If I went back and looked at 2008, 2000, probably better yet, 2010. 2010, 2011, we were up to 30,000, 40,000 active properties. Now we don't even have 1,000. We've got, 600? Whatever that was, 500 and something. That's crazy. It is definitely low. So if you're looking at doing anything, give me a shout. All right. As a buyer, I'm going to be an advisor. As a seller, my sellers have been extremely happy right now. Matter of fact, I have one that just went under contract, so obviously I can't share the details of the contract until it closes. But when we went under contract, immediately I got this phone call going, seriously? I didn't think you were going to be able to do that. It's the market right now. It's the market. So yes, when you market things properly, when you have strategies behind it, which is what I try and share some with these numbers, but understanding these numbers is the basis of every strategy out there. You got to know your numbers. So there's the market this week. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?